Hello guys, my name is Tinu and we'll be talking about my tips on how to buy a used car. So on buying a used car, you want to think about the fundamentals. The steps that you take in order to buy a car like this. So what I like to start with is what you want the car for. What exactly do you want it for? And then that also goes into what you need the car for. What cars are most appealing to you? What cars are available near you? What condition is the car in? And what price are you willing to pay for it? So, when you're looking for a car you want, or trying to figure out why you want the car, it might be for school. Maybe you want it for work. If you don't want your parents dropping you off for your shifts. You could just want it for fun. You probably don't even need a car, but you just want it for fun. And miscellaneous, if your parents are making you drop your siblings off to school, or you need your car to run errands or shop for your parents, it's always something that could be brought up. This goes right into your needs, obviously. So when you're looking at a car, you're gonna want to see what you might be using it for, obviously, and then what the car offers. So I feel like a sedan would be best for passengers. It's a nice, comfortable cruising car. SUV is similar to a sedan, but it's bigger. There's more storage, and there's also more clearance to the tire off the ground. But in that case, you're also getting worse miles per gallon. You can get a compact for solo drives and better gas mileage. You could always fit more people in there, but it's not as comfortable as a sedan, obviously. And a sports car, if you want to be totally selfish and just get a car for yourself, there's no problem with that. So finding a car that's most appealing to you is totally subjective. Yeah, brands. As much as people don't want to say brands mean anything, they do mean stuff. And in my terms, I feel like they mostly mean things like reliability. That's why brands have reputations. I don't want to get much into the specific brands, but yeah, it's probably not best to waste your money on something that you know is probably gonna be gone in the next year or two. Fuel efficiency. If you really want that V8 in your sports car, or do you want to just settle with a 4-cylinder? Just save gas. Do you really need all the extra horsepower? In size, do you really need the big boat to be driving around, or do you want something small and nimble, something that's easy to see out of? And obviously looks, because people care about what you're driving, or people that drive care about what they drive, and they just like looking at it, I guess. So what cars are available near you? What you want to look for is local ads. See what people are selling around. Look for cars that have listings on them. It's a great way to find something quick and then see what's in your area, so you don't have to travel far. My favorite place to look is Facebook Marketplace. The people just post their cars there. Sometimes they don't know what it's worth and they just throw it on there. It's a pretty good site for used cars. I think Craigslist is pretty good too, but people there actually know what they're doing. It's more old-fashioned, so people that sell their cars there know what they're worth, what they're doing when they put them up there. OfferUp. I've seen some cars there. It's probably not the best of the three, but if you could find it, it could work if you could do it. And I think asking around, if you're asking your family, your friends, if they have a car, usually they're not even selling it. They probably just have a car sitting there. And then if you ask them, they'll be like, "Oh, sure, why not?" And mostly because they want to keep the car in the family or in their group. But yeah, if you're willing to ask, they might show up for you, and they're usually going to be cheaper because if you're from family, they might give it for cheaper. So what condition is the car in? that you're looking at. So you found a car. You found a car you like. You found a car you it's appealing, that's near you, and you go to check it out. So you want to see what the condition of the car is. So first thing you want to do is check the mileage, obviously. High mileage isn't exactly bad. I bought my car with like 200,000 miles on it, but it's mostly about like how worn the car is. If you could see from everything, like it was like a 300,000, I think you wouldn't want to buy it. But yeah, it's not that bad. It really depends. Rust is a big thing, especially here in the Northeast. If you're buying a car in New Jersey, especially, look for rust. Look all over the body. Please check the doors and stuff. Rust will kill your car, and it's like the worst thing to deal with. It's better to just avoid it altogether and not buy a car with rust than to buy one with rust like destroying the car. If there's visual damage, I mean, if it's like a dent or something, it's not that big of a deal. But you could always ask the owner about it. I think the good thing about visual damage is if you don't care, you can always use that to your advantage. And I'll get into that in a bit. But that's that also goes into like new parts. Ask the owner, or if you could see anything new in the under the engine bay or inside. It's always a good idea to check. So what price are you paying for the car? After you get into all the condition and everything, you're gonna want to negotiate. And when you're negotiating for a car, you want to bring up these problems because the owner looks at it and they're like, "Wow." He's like, "Wow, why didn't I fix these?" Or, "I guess I should compensate for these problems." And it's always best to compare to online prices. Like, look at what other listings are listing you for. Look at what people are appraising online for. It's always a good idea to know the price of your car, because people could always just make up prices themselves. Yeah, like before bring up problems. If you know, actually this also goes into the next thing, research. If you look into your car that you're buying, like your particular car, and you find problems, and the owner knows about these, it's always like an easy way to get the car for cheaper. And I actually go into this in my next slide. I talk about my own experience with my car. So I needed a car for school and work. This is back in 2019. I was buying this car. I was looking at this one. I wanted a wagon or sedan. I knew that, and I ended up finding this Toyota Camry for $1,500. I thought it looked pretty nice. It was in okay condition. And one of the reasons I wanted this one was because I was familiar with the car. I'm actually pretty familiar with Toyotas. I know how their engines. I know like just faults, any prone things happening. It's just something I'm familiar with on these cars. You could tell about the car from Craigslist from the listing, but yeah, the guy knew about the car a lot. He was pretty smart with it. So when I brought up to him certain things about this engine, like these do tend to burn oil, which is not a big deal, but like for like most drivers, it's like, oh, the car burns oil, it must be on its way out. So he actually brought the price down using this. I got it for $1,000 instead of $1,500. It was a great car. It actually lasted me like 3 years, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I didn't really take care of it either. But yeah, I feel like it was a great experience, and I'll be doing it again soon because I want another car, and I'll make sure to use all these tips when I do it, and I feel like it would be great if you use these tips too to go find your own car. So thank you for watching my video.